Someone was a Bowie fan? "Do I know you?" he said. "Well," I said, "a friend of mine is trying to get me to join your guild. Do you have a second?" "Who?" said Tambris. "What friend?" It's important to point out here that this is all just typing. There's no actual conversation. But I felt as though I could hear the skepticism in Tambris's voice. "Who would invite you?" "His real-life name is Jonah Long," I told him. Tambris frowned at me. Literally, the character frowned, and he had to type 6 extra characters to express the emotion. Why did I have to ask? "Oh, I'm sorry," I told him. "Do you not get along with Jonah?" This was the wrong question, I instantly realized. The most important thing was to get Tambris talking to me. It's not like real life where people have an obligation to communicate. One wrong word and our knife thrower would be on his merry way, especially this early in the conversation, when I was just another generic elf. But despite my wincing, he stuck around. "That wasn't what I meant, but now that you mention it, no, I don't. Jonah is not my favorite guy." "Oh, sorry." There was a pause, at which point I felt sure that Tambris was going to leave. But it didn't happen, and so I asked, "What did you mean then?" "Jonah just invites everyone into the guild. Almost everyone knows him personally." "Do you know him personally?" "Well, no, not me, just all the new folks. And maybe Orchardary. But it's like a disease. Eventually his mother will be playing with us." "ROTFL," I typed, even though this wasn't particularly funny. Mrs. Dalloway I wasn't, but Tambris kept looking at me. "He's really more of an acquaintance anyway," I told him. "But he was telling me something about some kind of theft." "Harumph." Who types harumph? "I don't want to join a guild where you might get stolen from by your own teammates," I said to Tambris. "Does that kind of thing happen all the time?" "I don't know. He's your friend." "Acquaintance," I repeated, because it seemed to me that if I wanted to keep talking to Tambris, acquaintance was the way to go, and it was true, anyway, not that it mattered. "What was he doing? Bragging?" typed Tambris. I stopped for a second because it seemed like the conversation had made a turn that I didn't follow. It's like when you're talking to your aunt about the new Spider-Man movie and everyone is suddenly saying that it tastes like blueberries. A beat has been missed. "Bragging about being my acquaintance?" I asked, though I knew this couldn't be right. Tambris /scoffed at me. He had quite a glossary of emoticons. "No, you nitwit," he said, "about the theft." Yes, this was all tasting like blueberries. Nothing to do but soldier forward, though. He seemed really bummed about it. He couldn't believe that someone would steal the spear. Tambris looked at me blankly. "Jonah stole the spear." "What?" "What?" "He told me it was stolen from him." "I don't know anything about that," said Tambris. "Maybe you should talk more to your acquaintance about it." And yes, he actually put the italics there. The boy was a wordsmith. But then he took off. I went to bed troubled. The warm glow of having money for rent and food didn't last nearly as long as I had hoped. I woke at 8 and began the laborious process of putting myself together for a job interview. At this point, I regarded job interviews less as a means to get a job and more as a ritualistic process of destroying the ego, the way some religions believe suffering brings you closer to God. I had a particular outfit I used for these sorts of things, my navy blue dress suit, which barely showed ketchup stains at all, and which Charisse described as thready. And also, lately, a pair of black high heels, because my mother insisted that interviewers like to see women in high heels, and at this point I would try anything. The heels were a recent addition to my arsenal, and I didn't really have the knack for them. So I was teetering around the apartment when there was a knock at my door. The shock of a visitor in the pre-noon hours nearly knocked me over, although my acumen with heels was low enough that I might have just fallen over anyway. It was a courier with a package from